Hello, everybody, and welcome back to CCS2 on Wednesday. I am Thunder. I am joined by my wonderful color caster, Sultan, and today we are bringing you the matchup between OK Infinite and Dorado Gaming Omega. Both of these teams are on kind of similar tracks over the past few weeks, but yeah, OK Infinite only has one game win. Dorado Gaming Omega rocking four. This could potentially have playoff implications. We will have to see. Sultan, how are you doing today, and what are you expecting out of this game?
I'm good. I'm really excited that we are able to cast this one, especially since we were not able to last week.
Hmm.
Um, to this week we have a really, I think, a matchup that is pretty interesting. Dorado has been on on a better winning streak than K has been, but with that being said, K, even in the losses that they took, they were looking better than what people thought about them in the beginning of the season. So I think that's the team that we should like look out for when it comes down to like getting making upsets happen.
Absolutely. And I mean, they are so far the only team to take even a game off of DNX, who currently, along with Hard Hat Zone, DNX Hard Hat Zone are on a collision course for week 9 if they remain undefeated. But yeah, okay, is that is the only team that has taken a game off of who a lot of people think to be the best team in the Wednesday conference, maybe even in the CCS. And now Dorado Gaming is up against that. We'll have, they had a lot of hopes coming into this split, coming into this season. I think going 4-2 so far, I think they've underperformed a little bit compared to what everybody else is thinking. But if they can get a win here, go up to 5-2, they will all but lock playoffs. There are some very, very small corner cases that I would need a big old foldy sheet to be able to interpret. But the win here pretty much confirms them for playoffs. A loss for OK Infinite will almost knock them out. So personally, if we see OK Infinite win, the playoff race just gets that much spicier, along with this draft that we are already diving into. OK Infinite has banned the Malzahar, the Jinx, and the Diana, taking the Diana away from Reggie in the jungle, and Dorado Gaming banning out the Kaisa, the Yasuo, and the Akali, and OK Infinite picking up that Volibear instantly for Splash in the jungle.
Yeah. Uh, for for the blue side's bans, I really like Diana. It's like one of the, I guess, signature champions for Reggie at this point. If you look at his solo queue, or even in the leagues that he's been playing, it's like a champion that he is really comfortable with. The Volibear pick is also really high prio lately, especially how well he does into some of the meta junglers such as like Udyr, and Hecarim. Like really good matchups, and Trundle is a decent response to that.
Indeed, I'm interested to see Volibear when he goes into that Stormbringer form, gets a lot of additional stat boost that Trundle might be able to chomp away at. Nothing as big as when, there's something like a set or something for the Trundle to gnaw off of. But the other picks coming in, both ADCs have been selected. Ashe for Dorado Gaming and Jin for 4,000 down in that ADC role. A bit of a comfort pick for them down there. Following up with the Seraphine, that could go mid or support. And then, is that a Vel'Koz in the mid lane for Dorado Gaming for Sev?
I would assume so. He has a decent amount of games on Vel'Koz this season. I don't think that Salvrangur plays the champion too much, but it is a possible flex. Maybe they practice in scrims, but Vel'Koz is a decent high ranged mage. Can dish out a lot of damage. Has, I don't know if you would like call it really like reliable CC, but like that little knockback that it has, it can come in handy sometimes.
Yeah.
Um, it is an interesting pick. Seraphine, on the other hand, is like a more reliable support, also plus flex. We have been seeing it in ADC and mid lane lately, but still a good support. The ultimate Onkar, probably one of the most broken ultimates that we have in this game right now. So always something to keep an eye on.
It is a very, very strong ultimate. If you hit it right, you can get just all the members of the enemy team walking helplessly towards you. But in terms of the remaining bans, Irelia and Ari taken away by Dorado Gaming, Tryndamere and Yorick banned by OK Infinite. The Ari ban targeting that mid lane again. It looks like Dorado are anticipating that the Seraphine will likely be going into the support role, and I assume that they're going to be picking accordingly. We see the Bard hover in the selection for Dorado Gaming, so they are running Ashe Bard. That Vel'Koz is pretty much guaranteed for the mid lane here.
Yeah. Well, knowing that the enemy team is running like Jin Seraphine, which is like Jin is not really an ADC that you want to play towards a lot. Bard can kind of like leave Ashe alone in the boss side. If they know where Volibear is, Bard is a really good roaming support, probably one of the best at it. Um can be really effective when used correctly. So it will be interesting to see that come through. But we also saw the Rise and Aatrox coming through, so they drafted decent scale. Like Rise scaling is not bad, I guess, compared to the side of Dorado. Like Rise has been really popular with a tankier build than like a more AP mage. He's really hard to kill, and he still does his damage because of his passive. So they drafted for like two safe kind of reliable lanes for themselves.
Well, that'll be interesting to see. I mean, it looks like on the side of Yao Infinite, they have a couple, strong skirmishers for kind of that early game with the Volibear and the Aatrox. I'm interested to see where Splash will go with the Volibear, which lane he wants to try to impact the most. But we see the Darius pickup for Pepe Cito in the top lane here, and I am very, very excited to watch this top lane matchup between Elsa from Frozen and Pepe Cito on Pepe Cito on the Aatrox versus Darius. I think this is going to be an absolute bloodbath. We have the Asher with the long range enchanted crystal arrow that completely defies physics, and then we have the Rise with the global. I honestly expect this top lane to just be chaos and blood from like level 3 onwards.
Yeah, and both teams actually have ways to dive the enemy team fairly easy. Especially after the level 6 come, Wallbear Ultimate obviously one of the best diving tools in the game. For the side of Dorado, they also have Bard Ultimate, which is
Yeah.
a really unique ability. Because like I guess it's the only thing in the game that can like put enemy team into a stasis mode, and you just like when a Bard lands a multiple um when he can find multiple peoples with his ultimate, that's just like almost a for sure one fight for his team. So I feel like after 6 we're gonna see a lot of action, a lot of team fight ultimates for both of these teams. Obviously, as you said, the top side should be a, a bloodbath type of lane, at least from the draft that we have seen until now.
Yeah, I'm just my brain is currently thinking like, okay, I'm fully expecting that we are going to see at some point in this game. If we don't see it, I'm going to be so sad. A tempered fate into an enchanted crystal arrow, and some poor soul on the side of Yaoke Infinite is going to be locked down for like 10 or 15 seconds before they get blown up. Someone's going to have a really bad time with that bottom lane duo down there.
Yeah. It also has to be timed decently well.
Right.
Even I think I'm not 100% sure what game it was, but I distinctly remember that in a pro game, like the Bard Ash duo was
Right.
like being ran, and they kind of missed it.
Oh,
Um,
wow.
so it is kind of like a timing intensive thing, but they have the pick tools. There's a lot. The Bard can tunnel with the Trundle. Like he can tunnel his teammates. So there's a lot of playmaking for both sides actually. I can't really choose a side that I like the draft more, but I guess if I had to choose, it would be like yeah, okay, Infinite. Looks like their comp is a little easier to execute. They have a lot of point click stuns, the Seraphine ultimate obviously, and Jin is an ADC that can like kind of do a lot with low resource, especially
Right.
with his W's and ultimate. Like his ultimate is like even if you're really down in gold, like that fourth shot, if you land that with his ultimate, it will do some damage to the enemy team for sure.
Absolutely. And I think we're going to see a lot of positioning based stuff. You know, we have the rise with the Realm Warp, we have the Seraphine speed up, we have the Bard tunnels. People are just going to be going all over the map left and right. If we see the Hex Tech gates, then I think anybody could be literally anywhere at any time. We'll just have to wait and see for that. But I'm personally very excited for this. I guess the one thing that I want to ask, I feel like I know what the answer is going to be inherently, but where do you think First Blood is going to happen?
Mm, well, we would expect it to be top, but maybe maybe Splash can get a decent gank towards bottom mid. Who knows? But if I would have to bet my money on it, I would have to say top. Obviously, with the Darius, um, having that solo kill potential starting from level 1, it will be probably the lane to look for about the first blood.
Indeed. Well, we shall have to see. We will take a couple of minutes of break before we get into the action for the CCS2 Wednesday stream. We will be right back. Don't go anywhere.
Hold on. I'm about to say something really cool. 3, 41, 9, and lift off! No one dies screaming without me. I feel like I forgot to shoot something. You're starting to bore me. She's such a loser. Always ready to cry. Ah, come on. What's the worst that could happen?
Hello everybody and welcome back. We are into the game between OK Infinite and Dorado Gaming Omega. OK are on the blue side, Dorado Gaming are on the red, and it looks like Dorado have already decided that this is going to be a little bit of some early ARAM. Everybody is down in the mid lane. The rest of OK have spread out in a pretty standard 5-point fan, and Venom's currently in the jungle, running away from all of the members of DGO. That is 3 wards already placed down in the red side jungle. Although on the top side, Elsa from Frozen has placed a ward on the Raptor pit to check out where Reggie is going to be going in the early game.
Yeah, they will know where Volibear is starting from. Well, like, I would assume that they would clear at least one of the wards because Splash picked up a sweeper. But they can only clear only one of them. I wouldn't think that they would expect the one towards the Raptor pit. Raptors in bush. We're probably gonna just see like normal pathing from both junglers going towards top, especially after seeing the top lane matchup being Aatrox Darius, which is a really volatile. Whichever like player kind of gets the lead will have advantage in this lane. So we see Pepecito.
He is in this bush, he is behind Elsa from Frozen, but doesn't really get too much happening. Those hemorrhage stacks are getting added on pretty quickly, but not too much of a threat. Now, okay, so you're completely correct. Both junglers are starting on that bottom side. It looks like the Volibear is going red, straight over into the blue side of the jungle, probably going to directly his blue buff and the Gromp for that early clear, while Trundle is at least going for blue Gromp into red. So I think both junglers going for a similar clear pattern. In this bottom lane, there's a stun onto Venoms for some pretty good trading. Now, both of these bottom lanes did leash their junglers, so they got to lane at about the same time, but Muchai and Savronger so far are winning out on the trades. We see these junglers making it up to that top side. I feel like this is going to be a critical timing here. Who gets here first? And Pepecito has found the Volibear in the jungle. Sky Splitter comes through, but Pepecito, he is so weak. Reggie's going to have to come in and save him, but if this becomes a 2v2, that's going to be it. The Trundle pillar, I don't know if it matters. Pepecito is so low. He's running for his life. Hamza is the one that gets the kill, and now Reggie has to flash away. This is a weak Trundle. First blood has already gone over to OK Infinite, and Reggie is under his turret, but the range from Hamza takes him out. That is 2 kills, practically gifted over to OK Infinite.
Yeah. It was a really greedy, I think, ward opportunity for Pepecito. Like, you can do that, but he didn't crash the wave fast enough. Also, it was like super late. You would expect the Volibear to kind of like 3-camp clear towards you, like kind of respecting that. Would have been like something that he thought about. So it just ends up being first blood. Actually, 2 kills plus the first blood going towards the Rise. And we talked about, and like while we were loading in, me and you talked about how this mid lane would be really hard for Sev to play if he goes behind, and Hamza already sitting on the lost chapter.
That's not even Sev's fault, right? That was Reggie and Pepecito just feel themselves a little bit too much. Reggie, why are you up here again? Splash is giving him the business. The pillar has already come through. The only good thing is that Pepecito is on the way. The domain comes down, and Reggie spends some time in the enemy jungle. I think maybe got a wolf, and Splash gets to continue on farming already with a 7 CS advantage in the jungle as they go through the remainder of their clears.
Yeah, it was really greedy. He has almost all of his camps up other than the buffs. He could have just cleared them and like just basically pathed it towards topside again. I think that this is my personal opinion, but like invading the wolves is probably the worst thing ever. Unless you have full prio in one of your lanes, it is super hard because how deep that camp is towards in the enemy jungle. It just makes it so that it's really hard to get out of. Yeah. And we saw Reggie doing that without his flash and almost giving another kill. And like his second death of the game almost by the 5th minute.
Yeah, but, luckily he did make it out alive. One thing to note, Splash, Elsa from Frozen, and Hamza all used their flash to get those early 2 kills. Pepecito is the only one in that scuffle from before that didn't use it, and smartly backs away, goes for the recall, sniffs out the potential gank from the Volibear here. And we move on with our lives. Whew, it looks like for a second Elsa was going to go check him out, but Pepecito, after that first death, he still has a 16 CS lead, hasn't died yet again, still maintains the flash and the ghost. Things still going his way a little bit in the top lane.
Yeah. Well, it is mainly because of like Darius' early power that it's really hard to kind of fight him, especially when he has access to his ghost. It is really rough to kind of take a 1v1 fight because of his passive. When he stacks up the hemorrhage, I think, and when he gets that 5 stacks, it's just like he gets a burst of AD for himself, and it just makes it impossible to basically trade him. So we're probably going to see more fighting after maybe Elsa finishes some items, maybe some components, but until then, Pepecito kind of controls the lane.
Pepecito getting in a little bit of a hook and some extra chip damage onto Frozen, but this Aatrox has plenty of ways to heal up in the long run. Reggie just going and putting a lane down on the bottom side of the map to protect this bottom lane as the wave gets pushed in. These two, Muchai and 4000, they have both gone with the cleanse as well as the flash in this bottom side of the map. So mashing summoner spells down here, and they've been trading fairly evenly so far. Muchai down 4 CS, not that huge, should be picking up just a little bit more with that wave crashing. But also, to be fair, Sevronger has 14 CS to Venom's none, so that might be where that number comes from. Now, one thing to note, Dragon has spawned and Rift Herald spawns shortly as well. We'll have to see if these teams want to scuffle for it. So far, they haven't really shown any priority over it. I'm almost wondering if we'll see the bottom lanes moving to, tell us when that will happen, but maybe not. Muchai might just get deleted. Flashes and cleanses out of there. The summoner spells coming in huge, averting disaster, but only barely.
Yeah, and he mistimed his cleanse, so he was forced to burn his flash too. It will be something to keep an eye out, especially since the dragon is up, a potential fight.
Ooh, Reggie did not quite get that, I don't think. I only saw the blue buff on him. That went over to Splash. And now, remember the team on this top side jungle.
Yeah, Splash is also up a level at this point, so they might be able to look for a play. I would rather, just like I think they're doing it right now, I really like that the Arcane Fin is prioritizing this Herald more compared to the Dragon, because both of these bot lanes... Oh,
Sevronger's just dead.
Timing on that.
the gold, going gold there. Well, actually, does Sevronger have his ult? Oh, that must have been a tempered fate. Oh no, I didn't even see it. That came out so late. Poor Bard.
Yeah, the reaction to the Jhin ult was a little late. He was already able to get 2 bullets, which was more than enough to kill the Bard there. We see the tempered fate also being burned. He also had flash. Maybe he could have flashed away, but he didn't choose to. Now we can see a play here.
Enchanted Crystal Arrow comes through with a long range, and Sevronger is already back here with the Bard Tunnel. Venom's surely going to get deleted, get taken out here, but almost takes out Muchai at the same time. Muchai just barely sidestepping that deadly flourish. The thing is, Dorado even invested 2 more players down to this bottom side of the map, and Splash says, okay, we're going to take advantage of this. Goes right up to the top side. Both of these top laners have ultimate. Elsa from Frozen goes ahead and pops his. The Noxian Guillotine comes through and gets one. A 1-for-1 trade in the 2v1. If you're Pepecito, you will take that, and Dorado get the Drake for it.
Yep. This is a strong, like the kind of the strong thing about Darius. He can easily 1v2 even. Like if he probably was able to kill Elsa with his ultimate and like maybe getting a reset there, he might have possibly killed Splash too. And it will get worse because we see the CS difference almost getting up to 30 here. There's 1 level difference. Obviously Pepecito died twice, but he's still up a kill. Like Elsa is also only sitting on that 1 assist, is really not helping him right now. And Pepecito also finished his Bramble West early on, so it's gonna be kind of one-sided trades if Elsa tries to get any skirmish towards Pepecito.
Yeah, now, ooh, see the Bartolo coming through. The Enchanted Crystal Arrow hitting again onto the support, and Venoms has absolutely nowhere to go except maybe the brush. He's not going to be able to get out of there. Reggie just has to chase him down. Muchai is the one that ends up with the kill, and we are seeing a repeat. This is a little bit of deja vu, except Pepecito does not have the Noxian Guillotine. This time it is a clean kill in the top lane. Hamza trying to take a little bit of advantage of the chaos in the mid lane, but it doesn't matter. Rift Herald by Splash will get deposited to help get Elsa from Frozen back into the game on this Aatrox. That is 2, 3. I could see this even being 4 plates up on the top side of the map. Sev with the Lifeform Disintegration Ray gets the kill. Action non-stop happening across the map. This might just be a full turret, and after those overall trades, I mean, I don't even know who total won out across the map, but first turret gold going over to OK Infinite has to be good.
That shutdown is really big for the side of I was gonna say just Dog, but Dorado Gaming. Tev really needed that, especially after the first 2 kills that Hamza was able to pick off from the early of like the first play of the game. It brings him closer, but Hamza is still up 600 gold compared to him, so there's still a decent gold lead there. The main gold lead right now between the 2 teams are in the jungle, close to a 2k gold difference between Splash and Reggie. And this play, they have been doing this. This is like the 3rd time.
Finally, Venom splashes, but here comes the Tempered Fate into the pillar. Reggie is just staying down here, but Venoms just pops Muchai into 1-for-1. The cleanse was even invested. Hamza goes for the Realm Warp, and now we see the Curtain Call, but it is a 2v3 down here on the bottom side of the map. The 4th shot not quite doing enough damage. Dorado, they are here. They are still 3 strong, and I was wondering for a second if, yeah, okay, we're going to keep trying to fight this. It looks like Ham's just going to clear the wave, and Jin is going to run off to the jungle, but that turned around quickly on Dorado.
Yeah, and it is not a good trade. You never want to trade your ADC for the enemy support. It is still a kill. A kill is a kill. You pick it up, it's fine. I don't know, like it was like how this game is going right now, especially with the first turret being taken top. Now Elsa is in the lead in that top lane, sitting on that finished Core Drinker. Splash also finishing. Like, there's 3 mythics completed for the side of OK Infinite right now, and for the side of Dorado, there's only the Krakens there coming from Ash. Even 4,000 finishing the Gale Force, so the next fight might be a little one-sided.
We are seeing this fight happen over and over again. The Lifeform Disintegration Ray, though, by Sev might just be what takes out Hamza. In the meantime, Reggie and Splash are just going at it. The rest of the team has decided to gang up on the Big Bear. That's a double kill on the bottom side of the map as Pepecito and Elsa from Frozen duke it out up here on the top side. That Gore Drinker is not helping Elsa from Frozen as much as this level advantage is. The Aatrox does get out, does have to invest the World Ender. And it looks like the rest of Dorado are on the way up to this mid lane. Now, keep in mind, there was a brief moment where the gold lead for OK was almost 3,000. It has been cut down to a little under 2. It is at 1.7k. And we'll have to see if Dorado can keep chipping away at it. Sev has no more plates to get down here on this bottom turret, is just investing damage and has to run away as Hamza teleports in.
Yeah, it was a huge shutdown that they were able to pick up from Splash. They've been kind of like almost close to 5 of their kills until now has come from the same play.
Root Muchai. Oh, the Tempered Fate again. Just a little bit too late from Savronger. That has got to feel bad.
Yeah, it was almost on time. It was like maybe half a second late to save Muchai. But I was gonna say, like, right now, most of the kills that we have seen has been like kind of the long range stuns or CCs in general, landing from both sides and kind of playing through that. Muchai has been really good with these crystal arrows, and
Realm Warp here. I think that dodged all of the vision, and now the rest of the team is on the way, but the enchanted crystal arrow does manage to hit onto the Jin. I don't know how much it mattered. Pepecito and Sevronga were stunned up as they went through the Bard tunnel. Pepecito gets rooted by the long range from the Jin, and the Rift Herald goes over to Yaoke Infinite for a second time. Thank you for the leash. There's no deaths. It is just a gift to Yaoke from Dorado.
Yeah. And I saw Hamza taking the Bard portal too, and then instantly regretting and flashing back into the pit. Yeah, well, they do still have it decently. The gold lead jumped back to close to 3k after the bot side play, and the most of this lead currently is again sitting on Splash. And other than the one time that he tried to 1v4 in the bot side after his teammate got picked, in a team fight, he's super strong, and I don't see the side of Yaoke Infinite really losing a fight when they're playing with Splash and when they're using their ultimates correctly.
I mean, we've just seen when all the ultimates combo together, it's gone really well for the team that has had the priority on it. We saw there that the Realm Warp into all the rest of the ultimates with the Seraphine speed up to just very suddenly be on the Rift Herald, completely scared away Dorado. There weren't any kills. It was just the pressure of being like, okay, nobody's here. We have vision down, to all of a sudden, oh, they're all here. Like that alone is what pushed them off of it. It's a terrifying thing to see an Aatrox and a Volibear just charging right at you, and there's nothing you can do about it.
Yeah. They just need Sev to kind of get strong.
Oh, Sevronga and Reggie, they're on the way. The stun comes through, but the wave was not there yet. They were just a little bit too early. Volibear managed to get a tower from somewhere. I believe that was the one on the bottom lane. I don't know how Splash is the one that got credit for that. And Muchai, despite playing from between the turrets, Volibear comes charging out of the middle of his own jungle and takes him down. Another kill under the belt of Splash. Pepecito trying to stop the second charge from the Herald here, but Hamza just takes him down from 80% to 0 as the Herald gets another charge up on that tier 2 bottom turret. Woo! Pepecito, I don't think he was expecting that one.
He maybe mistaked Hamza with Elsa. that Rise is super fed right now, sitting on 3 kills currently, but like even before that he was super strong. He's sitting on the Everfrost, and Pepecito not finishing his mythic. He's considerably weak unless he's going against Elsa, because like we kind of know Aatrox, not really the best 1v1 champion, kind of shines in team fights. But Rice has no problem 1v1ing a Darius, kiting him back with the Everfrost and the Phase Rush, which makes it really hard for Pepecito to stick to him.
That was so much damage out of this Rise, and it's exactly what you were saying with that passive. It's like there's no real damage items on this Rise. It's just mana and CC, and that was a very quickly dead Darius. There is no AP resistance on him at all, and so we'll have to see what he builds next. I hope to see the Mythic completed soon. We're at almost 20 minutes into the game, and the Seraphine already has her Mythic completed. So Pepecito, I'm not sure what's going on. The Triforce is okay. As I'm talking about it, the Triforce is completed, but whew, that was a while.
Yeah. Well, when you're playing against the Aatrox and when you don't take Ignite, you kind of have to pay the heal cut fee, basically.
Venom's not getting caught out this time. Says, you know what? No, you're the one getting caught out. Reggie, though, with a pretty big chomp. Splash is the one that falls to Sevronga. The Lifeform Disintegration Ray doesn't really do much, and Sev, with some fancy footwork, dodges all of the bullets from the Curtain Call. Dragon is spawning in just about 19 seconds. Both teams have won. This is not Soul or Soul Point, but it looks like they both want to fight over the Cloud Drake that will soon be on Summoner's Rift.
Yeah.
No. Oh, Sev! Oh, after the fancy footwork, he couldn't dodge the empowered Seraphine root. And Elsa from Frozen now wants to go in. Gets put down to 1 HP, as well does Moochai. 2 members, or 1 member on each team, but Moochai is not the one that is able to get away. In the meantime, Darius without a TP is on the top side of the map. That is going to be the second dragon for in trade for this Darius to work on the top side. And I almost have to ask, because Darius has teleport, Ghost Flash is important, but if Darius has teleport and can come join the team fight, does that go much differently? I think it does.
It might have. The main problem with the fight that Dorado was trying to take is that they burned the Crystal Arrow, they burned the Vel'Koz ultimate, they burned Regi's ultimate, like most critical ultimates for their team to dish out some damage was gone, and when you don't have that, even though it's a 4v5, it kind of gives the enemy team a little bit of space to kind of win the fight. And Sev walking a little bit too far is all Infinite needs when they want to win the team fight.
And we saw it immediately. Sev went down, and then they were off of the objective immediately, and it's now a 5.3 thousand gold lead. Objective bounties are up for Dorado Gaming to claim across the map. We'll have to see where they go. Baron has spawned. Reggie clearing out some vision, and Splash just says, you know what? No, this is our ward. You don't get to kill it.
Yeah. Well, like, one thing to keep an eye out is that we saw how squishy Splash got after Reggie using the subjugate. Right? He takes away all the resistances that this wallbear is currently building, and also makes Reggie tankier at the same time. So Splash needs to be a little more careful when he's picking these fights, because he will be less tankier than he expects himself to be.
Yeah, for sure. It does have Trundle, though, is rocking the Divine Sunder, has picked up a Phage as well, is not quite on that 2-item power spike. Neither is Splash, though, despite having that 40 CS advantage, does have a lot more pieces at least, and Hamza and Sev now duking it out on the bottom side of this map. And you know what? I will say, to Sev's credit, he hasn't been really losing the lane that much. Pretty much everybody that's been feeding this Rise has been everybody except the Vel'Koz. So kudos to Sev. I really hope I didn't just jinx it. There is the knock-up. Is he going to be able to get another kill here? The Enchanted Crystal Arrow steals it. How could you, Moochai? And now there's a 3v2 on the top side of the map. But it is Reggie. Elsa is down. The resets are coming through. The Noxian Guillotine doesn't get the second kill for the last reset, but it doesn't matter. The 2v3 outplay for Reggie and Pepecito in the top lane might just be what Dorado need to turn this around as they go for the Baron.
Yeah, POK fought that fight really bad. Like, Elsa was trying to 1v1 Pepecito, while Splash and Venoms was trying to focus down Reggie. And when you split your damage on two people that are decently tanky, they don't really have enough damage. As we said, Splash is going for the tankier build, so he is not doing as much damage as he would have done maybe if he had something like Divine Sunder. And Elsa not being quite the damage dealer at this point in the game, right? Like, he was doing fine, yes, but we talked about how he just loses the 1v1 just because of how these champions work against Pepecito. So leaving him in a 1v1 is not what you want to do, especially in a small skirmish where you could have helped him.
Yeah, and now, you know, Pepecito has that second item, has that forceful nature for those extra resistances. Sevronga, woo! Sevronga is speeding through here on this Bard. Zoom, zoom. And now it's up to, you know, Dorado. They are wearing purple. The objective bounties have fallen. They have not quite equalized the gold lead, but just 3 minutes ago, it was 5K, and now it is 700. They still have towers to get, including this mid-tier 1. They are surely going to want to take that down as quickly as possible. But Hamza, 4,000 Venoms have very solid wave clear of their own. There's 50 seconds until the next Drake spawns, and already Dorado Gaming are in this bottom side river, setting up vision and clearing things out. They want this Drake, it looks like.
Yeah, and Yeah, okay, should basically at this point they should just play around Hamza. Oh, cleansed.
The cleanse.
Yeah. They should just play around Hamza. He's super strong. Finished his Everfrost. Completed the Seraph's Embrace. That is fully stacked. He's working towards his Death Cap, which he almost has completed it too. So if they play with Hamza, he is going to deal so much damage right now. Good Everfrost.
Indeed. Ooh, there's a Seraphine ult. That's 2 charms, but they are out of it very quickly. Elsa from Frozen is going in, but the rest of the team is not there. Muchai gets the first kill, and it's a 4v5 in the favor of Dorado Gaming. Yeah, okay, they smartly back off. Again, this is not soul point, not worth getting wiped for. Cloud Drake goes over to Dorado, and they continue to try and press their advantage. Ooh, Sev maybe needs to be a little bit careful. There are 3 members in this mid lane here, but Savronger is here as well, and they're going to get this mid wave pushed in as the rest of the team take the bottom turret.
Yeah, I didn't really know what Elsa was looking to do there. Like he has damage maybe, but he is super squishy with the Grudge build right now. He doesn't have any like important amount of resistance on himself, and the only HP being the Gore Drinker 300 HP that he's getting for the Gore Drinker. It is nothing for 7 Muchai's damage right now.
Yeah, I mean, you know, the Gore Drinker is one of those bruiser items that received a nerf in the HP department, and so also from Frozen, you know, there's still some of that Gore Drinker ability that to, you know, buff yourself up, get that HP back, but the survivability is just not there, and you can see it, right? The Aatrox just dies almost, I don't want to say almost instantly, but almost instantly.
He almost dies instantly, and then heals back up, and then dies.
Yeah.
Basically, he's gonna need his Death Stance, probably another HP item, preferably before he can actually take over these team fights. They should pay more attention to how they're using Venom's ultimate Encore, because Encore is their only way right now to get on top of the backline, and unless Dorado Gaming makes a huge mistake with their positioning, they will need Venoms to hit like multiple people encores so that they can win these team fights.
Right, and I mean, you know, there was even Venoms did hit a 2-person encore. Did it hit the whole team? No, but it was 2 members, and I think that, you know, Elsa saw that pulling up on a bit of a skirmish up here. Pepe Cito in the 2v1. We've seen this play out before, but the levels might not be here. That was a major heal, and the Enchanted Crystal Arrow came into play to give him a little bit more space. Is he going to be able to get another kill? No, the Stormbringer comes through, and the shutdown goes over to the Jhin, but my god, that was scary.
He ulted the wrong person and he still killed Hamza, by the way. He ulted the Volibear, I think, if I didn't see wrong.
Yes, he did.
And like, if he was able to get that ultimate on Hamza, that fight was done. It would have been
the Tempered Fate. This is a dead Seraphine if I've ever seen one. The Lifeform Disintegration Ray, those last few pixels coming in huge, but Muchai, the Aatrox, this is the burst potential of this champion when it's not facing down a Darius. That was so much damage, and now the shots coming through from the curtain call, but there are plenty of tanky members here. Elsa from Frozen going in again on a hero play, but this time it worked out.
Yeah, and it worked out because Muchai was kind of left alone by his team. When Elsa is left alone with Muchai, it's not really a fight. It's already, we already know who's gonna win that. That kill for sure will help him to go towards that Death Stance faster. If they can pick up this shutdown that Reggie has right now, it's gonna be really helpful for either 4000 or Hamza to kind of like push on their lead. They're both really strong, sitting on 3 items, especially Hamza, finishing his Mythic, finishing his Seraph's Embrace, plus sitting on that Death Cap, and even has the stopwatch for safety in his pocket right now. So if they can play around him correctly, that Rise is just ready to pop off right now.
Yeah, will certainly be a lot of damage. And one thing to note, 4000 only had one kill before those last couple of minutes where he got shutdowns, I believe, from both the Darius and the Ashe. So a lot of gold went into the pocket of this Jhin. We see the double long sword buy come out from him. So I expect we will see another item completion relatively soon, but both teams, I think, are ready to poise up around this Baron. It has spawned, and it looks like both teams are vying for mid control before they want to move to the objective.
Yeah. We might see one of the teams kind of going... Oh, Reggie's on the flank.
Indeed, a tempered fate pushes them closer into the river, just into the enchanted crystal arrow, and all hell breaks loose. The life form disintegration ray catches 3 people in its path, but Hamza manages to go golden on the backside of the fight. Elsa from Frozen is on to the ADC once again, but Muchai gets out of there. Reggie, he's trying to make something happen, but the subjugate is not enough. A phenomenal flank around the back by Elsa from Frozen turns what was looking to be a rough fight, but these health bars are low. It's going to be up to this Seraphine to try to heal them up as much as possible. There is a lot of damage still, but Pepecito is down, Sev is down, the key ultimates are gone for the side of Dorado Gaming. This is a fight for Soul Point. Elsa from Frozen again going on another wraparound flank, and that is a dead Bard. Elsa going in again, wants to keep on pushing for this. Ashe almost gets burst out in the Jhin with the deadly flourish. The shot lives up to the name, and Sev is the only remaining surviving member for Dorado Gaming in the fight for Soul Point.
Yeah, I feel like they could have just gave it up. It's like, yes, it is Soul Point, but it is not the end of the... It's not the end of the world. They almost had Sev's ultimate back, and it's just you don't really have a smite. You're kind of like trying to coin flip to 50-50, and it is just better to give it up at that point and like try to get these side waves set up so that they can maybe have a better shot at fighting this Baron. But now they give 2 kills that they didn't really need to.
Yeah, and now we see 4,003 kills in that exchange. That bounty on his head is just going up and up. 700 gold currently. This Jhin is very clearly becoming a problem. And the crit cloak coming through as well, almost all the way to his 4th item. The Aatrox now on almost even items with the Darius. The only advantage is the Bramble Vest for Pepecito, and it can come in clutch against like the Seraphine, but right now, Elsa is just saying, you know what, I'm going to go wherever the Darius isn't. Ooh, except maybe right into the Tempered Fate is not where you want to be. The Enchanted Crystal Arrow came through, the timing that we were talking about. Darius with the double kill, Darius with the triple kill. Pepecito once more. Some key roots coming through to keep the rest of the team alive from Venoms, as well as expending both flashes. Some good heroics to keep the bottom lane alive, but that is a second Baron of the game for Dorado Gaming Omega.
Yeah, and because you're seeing, although Sev has been behind
compared to Hamza for almost the whole game, now they're even in gold. And when you're fighting in these fight corridors against the Volkos, he tends to just shine, and like it's not even about being tanky, because when he uses his ultimate, because of Vel'Koz's passive, he dishes out a lot of 2 damage. Those organic deconstructions are just like they just melt through this Aatrox and Volibear. Like there's nothing that can tank that much damage at the same time, and even if that was not enough, maybe you can see a flicker.
That's an invested curtain call, but it doesn't do much. But yeah, okay, they want this fight. Elsa from Frozen has to get out of there. The Tempered Fate comes through, only getting 1. That is a shutdown onto Pepecito, though. That is your most fed member. That is your carry. The Realm Warp from behind tries to cut off the path to escape, but Dorado try to go in through the jungle. 4,000 goes legendary on the 8th kill of the game. The Deadly Flourish does not connect there, but that is a triple kill in response. At first, I thought they were over chasing, but they knew exactly what they wanted to do.
Yeah, and then we see Hamza TPing top, but he should be careful that he doesn't have any of his teammates with himself.
And he has already used that Realm Warp, that key escape tool. He has no flash. Yeah. That's a lot of damage onto Sev, but here comes the Trundle. A kill practically gifted over to him.
Yeah, that was really unnecessary. They were like pushing mid lane. Like his team is already pushing mid lane. They could have just like taken the tier 2 with the 4v2 that they have currently on the map. It was a little greedy, and it just gives up another kill that was really unnecessary. Yeah. Overall in that exchange, like both teams, like a different team is playing better in every single fight.
Yeah,
And
I agree.
yeah, and we kind of see that when they're fighting in the jungle, where like they're like these tight corridors. Dorado Gaming is doing better because their damage is more linear, and they if they can get one reset for Pepecito, it is just like the fight is almost over because of how strong this Darius is right now. But again, if then they're fighting in an open field, this where like this Jin and Rice can move around and kind of like hide around with their abilities, it's super hard for Dorado Gaming to get a hold of Geo Infinite. Good flash.
We're seeing a lot of utility used here from both teams, but that is two ults expended, two relatively important ones for the side of OK, and only the Tempered Fate and the Enchanted Crystal Arrow. The Enchanted Crystal Arrow coming up very, very quickly here. Much shorter cooldowns, but that was interesting to see there, where I honestly, you know, Muchai and Sevronga, they both targeted different people with their stuns, and it split the team a little bit, resulting in no kills. But it did force the ultimates.
I thought they would like aim for 4,000 rather than like Savronger aiming for Splash with his ultimate. Right now, yeah, Yoke has the one more dragon before the last one taken, so they were able to give up this dragon. But really good hawk shot coming from Ash, just plots them.
Dude, that was a 5-man stack in that top. No, that's the good utility of Ash. It saves probably what would have been probably one person just getting, you know, picked on and deleted, but at the end of the day, it looks like OK just have to spend any money that they have. Baron spawns in just a couple of minutes, and right now
we also see 4,000 hitting full build. He has all of his items and looking pretty scary for now.
Yeah, we'll have to see what they want, where they want to put him, what lane they want to target him at. You know, Muchai, his counterpart, only has the 3 items, almost has the Lord Dominic's to follow suit, but you know, those 8 kills for 4,000, so many of them were shutdowns that just accelerated his gold generation. It's not like, you know, he has a 73 farm lead, sure, but so much of that gold came from getting shutdowns on Pepecito and Muchai and Sev in the mid lane.
Yeah, it is pretty, like, although he has been playing this game almost perfectly, it is a decently hard game for 4,000 to play, and we see another fight.
Pepecito in the 2v1, but this is Hamza this time along with Elsa from Frozen. We see the damage ticking away. He gets a big heal up, but the World Ender comes through, and Pepecito decides not to invest the Noxian Guillotine, saving it for a team fight later as the rest of his team pressures this topside inhibitor turret with only Venoms and 4,000 now up here to defend it, which they do successfully. Whew, yeah, that almost got scary.
Yeah, and they burned Hamza's flash for the kill, plus the ignite from Elsa. If they were not able to get that kill somehow, that would have been really sad for the side of okay, they spent a lot of resources. They were, however, able to pick up that kill. It doesn't really turns into anything else, but you'll never say no to a free kill that you were able to pick up, so...
Exactly, and now both teams, the Baron has just spawned. Both teams are here to fight it, and Elsa from Frozen jumps over the wall, and Sev, for all the praise we've given him, has now gotten caught out right over the river wall. Sevronga throws out the Tempered Fate, but again, for the 3rd time, is not enough to save his life. The Realm Warp comes through. They want to go for the mid lane, but the Pillar slows them down just enough to give Reggie time to escape. Muchai, with an almost too greedy back, saw them marching straight to him, and OK, Infinite, they say, we don't even care about the Baron, we're getting this inhibitor first. We'll have to see if they want to go for more. These respawn timers are long.
I feel like they could have just went for the Baron and then went for these turrets, but I guess they want to open up the base as much as they can before Civ spawns back up. Dorado can't really fight this if they even try to. We might just see the end of this game right here.
With the range, able to get one deadly flourish root, but it doesn't look like it's going to make anything happen. And Hamza tries to go in a little bit. This Trundle pillar, though, might just have him locked down, but the rest of the team has said hello. Let's make it happen. The other two hadn't respawned and walked down in time, and 4,000 outranging everybody on the side of Dorado is starting to pick up these kills, starting to load up that KDA. A triple kill for the Jin, a double kill for Hamza on the rise in the mid lane. That is a team fight ace for Infinite, and they will take game 1 of this series over Dorado Gaming Omega.
Yeah. This game was super close. We just kind of saw the game just end after 2 mistakes coming from the side of Dorado. First of all, like Sev being called out right around that Baron. And then we also saw the trio of Muchai, Pepecito, and Reggie taking a bad fight while Sev was spawning, so they were not really in the fight when it started. So like they started dying and then it just they just basically ran them down in their own base.
Yep. If they waited, I think if Dorado wait just 2 more seconds there, just try to kite it for 2 more seconds, that would give the rest of their team time to come and join them. But dang, that really did feel so close right up until that very end point. And we look 4,000 with 11 kills on the game, but look at all the assists from the rest of the team facilitating him.
Yeah, and probably, although he had his good amount of errors throughout the game, Hamza had an exceptional game too. He got the early lead with the 2 kills that he was able to pick up after a really scuffed invade. Not invade, but like a really scuffed vision contest from Pepecito. And after that, he just like kept snowballing, and he was even able to kill Pepecito in the side lane a few times. So he was really helping 4,000 a lot in this game, but 4,000 was the star with 11-0-8, 302 CS, 4,000 gold up on his counterpart.
Yeah. Props to 4,000 and props to the side of Again, this is not the end of the series. There is at least one more game. We will have to see if Dorado can make some adjustments and come back for a game number 2. That was a 40-minute game. We'll have to see if we keep getting more bangers just like that. We will be back here with game 2 in just a few minutes. Don't go anywhere. Hello, everybody, and welcome back. I told you it would just be a couple of minutes again. I am Thunder if you are just tuning in, and this is Sultan, my color caster. We are bringing you the matchup between Dorado Gaming Omega and Yeah OK Infinite. Yeah OK Infinite took game one in an absolute 40-minute slugfest banger. And because of that, Dorado Gaming have chosen to be on the blue side for picks and bans. The Akali is banned, the Jinx is banned, the Seraphine that Yeah OK played down in that support position last game is banned. Sultan, where do you think the adjustments are going to be made in draft? What changes shall we see with the Malzahar? And it looks like the Kaisa going to be banned as well.
We're basically almost seeing the same bans other than the Seraphine. Um, for both teams, I think. Yeah. The only difference is they opted into banning Seraphine instead of the Yasuo. Dorado picks up the Volibear. Um, I guess in a situation where you don't really want to pick the Hecarim, and when Diana is banned, it is probably the highest power jungle in the game right now. I can see it. Wonder what Yoake will pick into it. They.
Ooh, the Zaya
Oh.
and Rakan pick, that lovers duo locked up for Yeah OK. They haven't picked their jungler yet. We'll just have to see what that is. But we haven't really seen Zaya too much in the meta, but I've heard talks that people should be prioritizing her more. What with all the diving going on, her Featherstorm ability to be able to just get out of it seems pretty good.
Yeah. Uh. Yeah. We're especially with like junglers such as Hecarim, Volibear, or like even Xin Zhao. Those type of champions kind of wants to dive into your team, and Zaya just kind of has that safety tool in her kit on her own, and Rakan with it synergizes really well. The I think the jump to his teammates it has a higher range when Rakan is playing with Zaya, so it is a safer lane duo. And there's a build that's been pretty popular with Zaya where like you just go Eclipse Manimune of like a more lethality build, kind of playing around with her feathers more, but Dorado responding with Siri and Renata.
Yeah, the new kids on the block. Well, the new kid and then the new grandma on the block matching up against the lovers duo in that bottom side of the map. I'm very excited for this. Now the Zac pick in the jungle. I mean, I assume it's going to be the jungle, but these are very interesting picks. I'm especially, the only thing I left for me to wonder, I guess, is Zeri has received some nerfs. Is there a world where she is going mid lane and Dorado are keeping her as a flex right now?
I don't think so. I think she is, even after the news, she's still fine in the bot lane. It's just it's a type of champion I think similar to Hecarim, where like you can nerf her, you can do a lot of things, but she has a special kit where you can almost make it work with anything. The movement speed stacking is just ridiculous. The being able to jump over walls as a hyper carry is really something that other EDCs wish they would had. But we're seeing like a traditional, like especially imagining about the meta in the last two patches, a traditional draft, and we see the Darius again. Yeah, okay, going for a more unorthodox, let's say, with picks that are not that common lately.
Yeah, that Darius. That's now. This is taking it away from Pepecito. This is also from Frozen saying, "You got to bully me all game last time. Now I get to bully you," and we'll have to see what Pepecito wants in response to that. He does, in fact, get the counter pick.
Oh,
The
I
Scion
hope
would be interesting, and it is
that
going
is
to be the Scion.
a Darius favored matchup. If there's top lane mains, they can maybe correct me, but as far as I know, that's one of the worst matchups that Sion has in the game. Well, like, well, Sion is also like another unique champion that can work with inting, can just
That
go
is
for
true.
those third plates. And I wouldn't be. I just lost the amount of games that I've seen this year that like a Sion going 0 and 10 just beating down my Nexus in solo queue, and we
Yeah.
see Casio, which is a good
Ooh.
response. Be-
Oh,
Thinking that Zac and especially Rakan wants to like kind of jump around a lot.
Indeed. So the statistic on the Scion versus Darius matchup is that Scion loses um a majority of the time. Scion has a 45.6% win rate into the Darius. Conversely, that is a 54.4% win rate for the Darius. It is Scion's third worst possible matchup in at least in Platinum Plus. So that is interesting. That is what Pepe Sito wanted into this. But you're exactly correct. You know, I like my inting Scion from time to time. If I'm having a bad night where I know I'm going to die a lot, I'll just get on the Baus train and just charge on in with my ultimate and die and clear the way. If it works, it works. But the last picks are the mid laners Cassiopeia and the Ari. That is what Dorado Gaming banned last time, and this time they are giving it over to Hamza.
Yeah, and uh, Casio is a really volatile pick. It can when she's ahead, it is really hard to play against her just because she has kind of a disengage or like a kind of a safety tool with her ultimate that makes it so that you can't really run just straight towards her unless you have like faker type reaction times. Um,
Yeah.
on the other hand, we see Ari being picked up last time it was banned. This time, Hamza is getting that pick for himself. Ari is a really popular champion, especially after the changes to her kit.
Right.
Especially the ultimate resets has been really hard to deal with for a lot of people because like before you were like, okay, I can ult forward, I can ult maybe once more forward, but then I have to like hold on to the third one
Right.
for safety. Now it's like, yeah, let me just go balls deep, do everything I can, and if I get a kill, I get my ultimate stacks back. It's just it's
Yeah,
really it's really OP.
the resets are always fun with those types of champions, and they have two resetting champions. They have the Ari and the Darius, who, you know, we saw Pepecito almost have those great moments, those types of things that you see clipped on TikTok, where you're in the 4v1 and they just walk into your Noxian guillotine one by one to get their heads chopped off. But you know, we'll have to see if Elsa from Frozen can make that happen this time around in what, you know, statistically speaking, is a favorite matchup for the Darius. But I will say, I am excited to see how this mid lane goes. You know, for in the previous game, Hamza got 2 kills, donated over to him in the early game, but Sev still managed to keep it competitive and have an impact. I hope to see both these mid laners, you know, perform just as well in this second game. Maybe have a little bit more focus on them, feeding them a little bit more than this top lane with what should be, I think, probably a weak side Scion.
Oh, yeah. They should probably look to make a lot of plays, especially with Renata's W. You can kind of force a little more than you could have normally did.
Yeah.
Especially with a jungler like Volibear or a ADC like Zeri, where you can go forward pretty easily. Um, maybe they would be looking to use that. Also, for the later on the game, the side of Dorado's team fighting potential is really insane. They have the Casio, they
Yeah.
have Renato Ultimate, they have Zeri, and like it's although they have the CC with Ari Charm, with Zac jumping from 2 screens away, with Rakan engaging from the side, even through all that, they have ways to get away from that, and it will be interesting team fights towards the later stages of the game.
Yeah. And, you know, exactly what you're saying with Renata's Ultimate, that hostile takeover. There are 4 members of Yeah OK Infinite that want to get in and on top of Dorado Gaming and Omega. And pretty much the best way to counter Renata's Ultimate is to just walk away from it. And if you're on top of her and can't kill her instantly, then you're in that cloud that's going to make you attack anything around you with the bonus attack speed. And that could very quickly, you know, if this Darius gets fed or this Ari gets fed, could very quickly turn back on Yeah OK Infinite. So we'll have to see. I'm excited to see how this Renata is used because it could show for some explosive plays, I think.
Yeah, it will definitely be an interesting match. Maybe maybe not as interesting as the one that we just had. That was a total fiesta, but maybe we're gonna see some better League of Legends this time.
Yeah, I do have to ask, do you think we will see more than just the one teleport this time? I fully expect like we have to
Uh,
see one on the Scion, right?
yeah, Scion should take one. I would assume one, just because like we saw Darius usually wants to take the ghost for the 1v1 potential or even a possible 2v1.
Right.
Ari maybe opts and for the ignite she can go TP, but the ignite gives you the same thing, more 1v1, or even with a gank makes it easier to get a kill onto the Casio. Maybe Casio would go Ghost again, thinking that Sev did opt in for the Ghost on Vel'Koz. It would even
Right.
work better with Casio, where you're not really allowed to buy boots. So
Yeah. You need the man. I mean, why would a snake be allowed to buy boots anyways? She doesn't even have feet to put them on. So we'll have
not
to see. Go
not
ahead.
like a soul can buy boots, but who knows? Who knows?
Indeed, but this is going to be. I asked last time, and I think technically you were correct about where the first blood happened. It was technically in the river, and technically the Rise got it, but the Darius did die first last time. So I will ask you again, where do we think first blood is going to happen this time? Do we think it's going to be the Darius lane again, or do we think it's going to be in the mid lane with the two mages?
I think it would be bot. I feel like,
Oh,
especially with Rakan Zaya being super strong with like the first 3 levels,
right.
they might look to go for a play. And maybe they are successful with their play, maybe they just push a little too hard and then die. But I would
Right.
think it would happen in bot lane.
All right. Well, we will have to keep an eye on that. We'll have to see if this Renata Glass pick can bail out that potential first blood. But we will be back in just a couple of minutes for game number 2 between Dorado Gaming Omega and Yeah OK Infinite.
Hold on. I'm about to say something really cool. 3, 41, 9, and lift off! No one dies screaming without me. I feel like I forgot to shoot something. You're starting to bore me. She's such a loser. Always ready to cry. Ah, come on. What's the worst that could happen?
Hello, everybody, and welcome back. Apologies for that brief delay. We had a brief disconnection, so there will be a brief stutter here at some point at the beginning of this game. Don't think too much of it, and if there's not, then I'm a liar and you don't have to listen to me. That being said, we are into the game. It looks like there is no cheese strats that will be coming out at this point, just a 5-point fan by both teams guarding their jungle entrances. There is a red ward in that pixel brush, though, for the side of Yeah, Okay, Infinite. Sultan, any interesting things to talk about for the summoner spells? Any interesting rune choices that you can spot out? What are we looking for in this early game?
Not a lot. Well, we see the Aerie coming for the Xayah, which more than likely means that he will be going for the lethality build. That is the rune choice that you go for. I like it. They have somewhat of DPS coming from Darius, I guess you can say that, and doing some damage from range is good. You don't really want to get too close to Volibear and Scion while you're hitting them, so Xayah is a little safer with the lethality build. Other than that, everything just looks normal.
Interesting. All right. Well, that's good to know. Some standard gameplay is never out of the bag. But it looks like where are the junglers starting is always the question. Volibear starting up on the top side of the map for Dorado this time around. We'll be pathing towards the bottom. And it actually looks like Venoms and 4000 went for the fake leash, dropping a ward on their own blue buff just for a little bit of safety's assurance. But that might, a little bit of subterfuge might get Dorado thinking that this Zac is starting on his blue buff.
Yeah, and he did start alone on the Raptors, something that you can do as a Zac. Oh,
ooh,
they're
Hamza
dodging away.
That is a lot of damage, but no spells are used. Sev still has plenty of mana, but is forced under his tower for a little bit by this Ahri in the early game.
Yeah, making use of those corrupting pot on hit damage ability, and we see Elsa.
Ooh, this
hiding.
Scion does not have nearly as much damage. It is forced to. That is such an early flash before even the 3-minute mark. Woo!
Yeah, and we see Splash pathing up here too, so if Pepecito is not be careful, he might go down here.
Yeah, and as far as we know, the only information that Dorado have on where this jungler is that he was towards the bottom side of the map, but Splash goes immediately for this gang. Pepecito gets caught up in the slingshot, gets knocked up, the Scion passive triggers. He'll be able to get a little bit of clear from this wave, but a good barrier in the mid lane prevents another kill from going over to Hamza, but that is first blood handed over to Elsa from Frozen. A little bit of revenge in this top lane.
Yeah, and we see good flash charm.
Oh, barrier that time, and Sev goes down. A second quick kill, and again, Yeah, okay, Infinite. They are on the red side, and they have taken an early lead in kills. But Reggie, he is here. He splits the sky, manages to get Venoms briefly stunned up, but nothing comes out of it this time. They're just going to clear the wave and push it under the turret. Yeah, okay, Infinite. Feeling really good about this early game once again.
Yeah. Pepecito burning the flash earlier regrets it. That was a really cheap use of flash, as I would put it, maybe. Also, in mid lane, Hamza first taking down Sev's HP to really low, and then burning the barrier with his ignite, then using his flash to charm. He did it really good so that Sev was not able to react with his own flash, and it gives him a considerable lead for this early game.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, we saw it happen last time where the mid jungle got a fairly early start, but this time the Darius does as well. I'm interested to see where they're going to funnel these resources. Xayah, of course, can carry, but, you know, Darius, this Elsa from Frozen, we've seen it do nasty stuff. We saw it doing nasty stuff last game, and I'm almost interested to see if that is where they're going to try to focus all these resources. Because it's not like Scion, watch me say this, and Elsa get one shot by the Scion. No, this is a Darius. He'll be fine. Just has to clear the wave.
Pipe stack.
Hold on.
This is a wave too big.
I was just about to say maybe they'll funnel this Darius because there shouldn't be any Scion solo killing the Darius, but who knows? Maybe not.
This is CCS. Anything is possible.
Exactly. Splash
Yeah,
clears out the ward.
he could have possibly killed Pepecito there if the wave wasn't that big. He did get chunked quite a bit from the wave, but Pepecito needs to be careful. He's dead.
Ooh. Jack saying let's go. There is no flash on this big beefy Scion. That is going to be another kill going over. Well, actually, this is the first kill going over to Zach in the jungle. And
Splash yoinks it. He's like, I'm the jungler. I'm ganking you. I take that.
give me. He wants it, but you know this is already. Yeah, okay. They're doing much better on this top side of the map, and there's no real threat of a potential solo kill coming back in the 2v1 because the Darius is on their side now.
Exactly, and we are also like seeing Reggie not doing a lot. He's not ahead in CS, like at least not a considerable amount to say that it's worth it. Splash has been able to affect his side lane, specifically the top lane, and already Elsa already having the lead. I don't know about the early Merc treads. I feel like that's a really bad buy. Doesn't really give you anything in the Scion lane. Scion does more AE than AP. The MR will be useless. Plus, like, the amount of CC that he's gonna eat is not that much.
Oh my god, Sevronger just gets chunked out so hard. He cannot really use the bailout on himself in that situation, and Muchai still has plenty of health, though. Sevronger has to burn the flash and uses the ignite as well in that exchange, but now Splash is here, and the ADC Muchai gets knocked up. The kill is gifted over to 4,000, and just like you were saying, Sultan, Splash is making plays across this map, and Reggie, all he's been able to do is kind of come check in and say hello once in a while. He has had zero impact on the game so far.
Yeah, and with that kill, DLK will also be able to take this dragon. Their team is... They don't scale as well as the side of Dorado, but when they get to snowball, their team is really oppressive, especially with the Ahri and Darius. Although I still think that Elsa is kind of trolling with his build. It should still be fine. He's still considerably stronger compared to Pepecito, and
we are seeing a 2v1 now. We saw Pepecito be able to turn that around previously, and now Elsa from Frozen is trying to do the same. Flashes are burned from 2 players, but this Scion can come back. It should be a 1-for-1, and there it is indeed. Elsa's from Frozen still getting the kill on the Pepecito. Now, I do have to ask, so obviously, Elsa from Frozen is building the Mercury treads here. Built Merc treads last time as well in the Aatrox. Do you think he is more doing this because he's not really scared of the Scion and is thinking more about potentially when he has to roam and join in the team fights to potentially up against this Cassiopeia or something like that?
I would assume so, but even if you're gonna do that, just like hold on to your tier 1 boots and then just finish your item. Like, last time we saw Pepecito holding on to, like, just delaying his first buy a long time as the Darius, right? And it was like, it was like 19 minutes by the time he finished his Triforce.
Yes.
So, just like sitting on the tier 1 boots and then just trying to finish the Mythic would be a better choice compared to just buying an item that will not really have an impact in your game until maybe 15-20 minutes in.
Right. Well, that certainly makes sense to me. We will have to see what Elsa from Frozen wants to do, though, with this lead and with these AP-resistant boots. Does also have the Sheen as well, while Scion is building the Bramble Vest, and it looks like Reggie has decided he wants to make something happen in this bottom lane. What he's playing a little non-committal about it, isn't pushing too much forward. And this ward is not going to get swept out, not going to get spotted out, and Reggie, he's just going to go walking away, go back and farm his jungle camps again. Not able to do much, and Sevronger right now is spotted out on the ward. Ain't going to get nothing happening there while the 2 top laners go at it again, but this time Splash is up here for the gank. I mean, we've seen this happen 3 times now. That's another dead Scion.
Yeah. it's not a good matchup. There's like not much to say to it. He had the counter pick and he counter picked himself. It is a rough matchup. Not that it's unplayable. Oh,
Hamza going in with the Spirit Rush gets chunked out by the turret. That almost
Sev barely lives.
that almost turned poorly, but this Rip Herald up in the top side of the map. Yeah, okay, Infinite. They have had a concise, consistent game plan across these two games. That is get Elsa from frozen turret plates and get this first top tier 1 turret. And so far, Sultan, it seems to be working out very, very well. Even better in this game too.
Yeah. I think especially the jungle, this game is being super influential for the side of BOK. Last time, I think Splash still had a really exceptional game on the Volibear, but this time he's just taking over the game with the ganks and bot.
That was a huge hostile takeover from Savronger to provide some disengage. 4,000 Venoms are now having to run away, but finally the Volibear chases down, but the feathers get Savronger all the way back under their turret. They still managed to make it a 1-for-1, but in this case, it was support for ADC. I think Dorado will take that one happily.
Yeah, they will, but they burned a lot. The flash from Renata, the ultimates for all three was burned, and now...
Oh my gosh. Splash, he wants this. He's getting the slows onto Muchai. He's getting those passes, but Muchai able to run away just fine underneath the turret.
Yeah, and we already see Elsa finishing the Divine Sunder already 12 minutes in, way earlier than Pepecito did last time, but
that is almost exactly 7 minutes faster on the Darius Mythic item, and it is a different one. It is that Divine Sunderer. So what are kind of the differences do you know between that Divine Sunderer and the Trinity Force for the Darius at the top lane?
Triforce is, I think, better in a general sense, just because you do more damage to the ADC, to the mid laner that are like people that are not as tanky, but Divine will give him a better chance in the side lane against this Volibear and Scion. Especially even if they try to 2v1 right now, it's going to be super hard for Pepecito and Reggie to do something, and he's just gonna take some plates while if he can. Yep.
That is a burn.
He accepted his test.
He's just decided that he is dead. Savronger down here does not have the hostile takeover this time, does try to use the bailout, but it does not go in his favor. He does not get that get out of jail free card. And Muchai will fall as well. His Splash pushed a little bit too far forward. 4,000 is actually. That's a shutdown onto Muchai. It looked like briefly the rest of the team was going to go up and try to take down Darius, but no. The Xayah falls. That is a big shutdown going into the Zeri's pockets, and she has completed the Trinity Force for it and bought some boots as well as just a piece of the next item.
Yeah. The only thing going decent for this side of Dorado is Reggie being 2-0, but even though he is 2-0, it's not that he is winning his jungles matchup. Splash has been the more effective jungler throughout this game until now, as the first two dragons picked up the Herald, used it for the top lane first turret. He kind of just like took over the game, and a lot of this lead that Elsa has just came from Splash being able to get him ahead with a good timed ganks, especially punishing Pepecito for burning this flash really early on the game.
Yeah, man, we're seeing just just how effective this top die strategy is, and it's having impacts on the other side of the map as well. All that pressure that Darius is creating. There were 3 members. Obviously, of course, 4,000 ended up dying in that exchange, but there were, I think, a total of 3 members that went up to try to deal with Darius, and that gave Splash time to go down to the bottom side of the map and deal with everybody down there, and the Darius didn't even die.
Yeah, and I don't know. This game is looking a little rough. It's not totally gone. It's only a 4k gold lead. It is a considerably large amount, thinking that we're only just 50 minutes in. I think the best part about the game for the side of VOK is that they were able to pick up the first 2 dragons we will, although, see a Cloud Soul, which is not the best, but they have champions that can make use of it pretty well, especially with the Rakan and the Ahri. They really like the first movement speed that they get after using their ultimate, and I would also assume Elsa would really like it if he can get a reset on the ultimate.
Yeah, definitely. That's exactly what I was thinking. The Ghost already is scaring up, and ooh, the handshake coming through onto Venoms, but that the ability you were talking about. The Everfrost root in the mid lane, though. Hamza and Sev are going at it. Hamza does have the Spirit Rush up, elects not to use it, though. The mid laners just trading out some damages, trading out some cooldowns, and we see Splash down here. He is charging up. He is ready to slingshot over this wall. Doesn't quite get the knock up, but manages to get that jelly arm connected, and a charm hits Savronger. But now, here comes the Scion. He has arrived, manages to get one stun. That's a double kill. On somewhere in the mid lane, Elsa from Frozen was making a gank. Ooh, that was a great flash from Splash, but I think you were dead either way. His passive is going to get stamped out. And Dorado Gaming, they take 4 members down to the bottom side of the map, get 3 kills and a turret for their troubles.
Yeah, and the best part about this whole trade-off was the fact that all of the kills went towards Muchai. He is Dorado's only way out of this gold deficit right now, and he is up almost 30 CS, 32 CS to be exact. Got the third gold too, not the first third, but still, I'm pretty sure Dorado is really appreciating any gold that they can get at this point in the game. Good recognition from Pepecito, knowing that he can't really stay in this lane against Darius. He's just like, okay, I'm already behind. I'm not gonna get any ahead by sitting in my lane, so getting his side lanes ahead. Good play overall for the side of Dorado.
Grab the Bramble Vest, grab the Cinders in his boots, and he is on the way getting out of there. And now it looks like we're seeing a bit of a different play out of, or well, essentially we're seeing our lane swaps now come out from teams. Hamza going down to that bottom side of the map, 4,000, and Venoms coming up to the mid lane, matched by Muchai and Savronger here. So the side laners are in their full side lane capacity. As you said, though, the first 2 Drakes did go over to yeah, okay. The second Drake is spawning in just about 46 seconds. One thing to note, again, is that Elsa from Frozen hasn't been, around to really join the team fights, and Hamza hasn't either. A lot of the stuff that all those kills that Elsa from Frozen has gotten is because Splash was up there consistently ganking. I'm very interested to see how this Ahri and Darius will do in what should probably be the first major team fight here. And they are already going in. That is a route onto Hamza, but he is able to get out of there. The ult hasn't been put through yet. And there we see Venoms going in. The Renata ultimate not doing enough. The first kill goes over to 4,000. The rest of the team is on the chase down. That's a double kill for the Xayah. We haven't even seen the resets yet. Another grand entrance. And there goes Elsa from Frozen. One reset comes through. And just as you say, the charm lands. Hamza gets a kill onto Muchai. That is 4 for 1. Pepecito can only tuck tail and run. The soul point will be going over. Yeah, okay, Infinite, as well as a 5.6 thousand gold lead.
Yeah, like, Dorado had a decent fight towards the bot side last time around, but we saw Venoms follow up the misstep coming from Dorado, trying to run after Hamza, but again, once Hamza is out of the miasma, he just gets 3 dashes, and you don't really have anything on the side of Dorado Gaming to kind of follow him up. So the grand entrance coming from Venoms with the quickness just earns a lot of time, and then the splash jumping in onto 4 people almost, and the damage coming through afterwards, they just can't do anything against it.
It was so much, and of the flashes that were burned in that fight, I'm pretty sure it was Muchai and Pepecito that had their flashes for the side of Dorado Gaming, and the only one that had to burn their flash from Yeah Okay was Venoms, and that was a purely engage tool. Didn't even have to invest the exhaust. 4,000 was completely untouched the entire time. That was a terrifying death ball with the Darius and the Zac acting as just these huge frontline tanks. So we're gonna have to see how Dorado want to answer that. Maybe Pepecito will have to go on some, or Reggie will have to go on some wild flanks to, you know, break up that team fight. But if they're gonna try to death ball via death ball, I'm gonna be honest, I think okay, win that one.
Yeah, Dorado has to, like, if they decide to contest an objective, they have to get there a little before OK does, and try to establish some good vision, maybe some flank wards for Pepecito to TP to, and then, because if OK is face checking to the side of Dorado, they have the Casio ultimate, they have Renata ultimate, the hostile takeover. Those ultimates are super effective when the enemy team is trying to come towards you. So if you're able to get a play around those two abilities, it will be good, but Reggie's
Never crossed out of Hamza, slowed down Pepecito, and Reggie got collapsed upon by the rest of the enemy team. So much damage is coming out from the side of okay. The hostile takeover does make the Splash attack his ADC, but nothing much else comes from it, and Splash wants to go back in, but Hamza is not there to provide additional damage. He was running away. Splash just providing some peel, and Dorado Gaming do not want to overchase. That is a kill handed over once again to OK Infinite, and we get a pause.
Yeah. Really good plays coming from the side of OK after the fumble, kind of, in the bot side. They picked it up again. They've been playing a little bit better. They mainly just need to play together, especially Splash and Venoms being two really great engaged tools that Dorado can't really do anything into. The quickness in general in that engages just catches the side of Dorado Gaming. How could I word it? Unprepared? Maybe?
Yeah, that sounds about right. I mean, now we're seeing, so we will be back into the game very briefly. Again, after the pause, there will be probably a slight stutter in the game. Don't worry about it. Everything should keep going as per usual. But taking a look, doing a bit of an item check. Well, first off, doing a gold check. Right now, OK Infinite have 3 dragons, as well as a 7.8 thousand gold lead. Next dragon spawns in 2 minutes, so there's plenty of time there. Baron is up, and as far as items go, there is no member of Dorado Gaming that have more than one single item. They all have other parts of the item, and everybody except for the support on the side of OK Infinite have their second item, as well as pieces towards a next one. So, OK, they are looking very, very strong on these power spikes. Dorado need to find, I think they need to find something before they try to take an objective against this other team.
Yeah, especially for 4,000, he's not up too much gold compared to Muchai, but the items for Lethality Xayah are much cheaper compared to what Muchai wants to buy. I think the current build right now is like Runans, Titanic Hydra, maybe Borg and Triforce. Those are much more expensive items than the lethality items that we see on Xayah. So Muchai needs much more resources to kind of come back into this game. And Sev finishing the Seraphs, he's getting stronger for sure, but he doesn't have like Gundries or Demonic, so it's going to be really hard for him to kind of go through the tanks that the side of him.
Hamza goes in, gets through with the Everfrost, and that is a dead Renata glass right off the bat. Good news is that there's no major objectives right now, but if somebody else dies, that's going to be a lot of priority. The Charm comes through as well as the Spirit Rush. 4,000 with the range, gets the kill and goes on a killing spree. Only 3 members are left for the side of Dorado Gaming, but they still get a kill onto the support, but that is not the main damage dealer. Pepecito and Sev, they are underneath the turret. Hamza has to go golden. Elsa from Frozen is now the one tanking the turret shots, but that is a team fight ace. Don't let that still alive Scion fool you. That is the passive. That ace coming through means the Baron is on the table. Renata Glass has respawned, but she's not going to be able to do anything about it. And in just about 10 seconds, the Drake is going to be alive as well to give OK Infinite soul.
Yeah. Elsa is just way too strong right now. Like, there's just not enough DC on the side of Dorado Gaming to deal with him right now. And Hamza has been really on point with his charms and his Spirit Rush ability. He has been using them really effectively and aggressively, more important than anything. So you see Elsa taking a reset. Are they just gonna give this up?
They're just giving up the dragon. So they didn't really rotate fast enough. I'm really wondering what Hamza was doing in that bottom side jungle, because he was there for a while, and maybe I'm just underestimating the speed at which Ari can take that dragon, but it seemed like he could have been at that pit earlier and taken it.
I feel like Ari maybe not solos it fast enough, but I was just more surprised that Elsa and Venoms decided to just take a reset instead of going for the soul. Like,
Yeah.
even without the resets, they're still up at least an item against their counterparts. And I thought they would just go for the soul and take the fight, because it would be close to impossible. Like, Dorado would need a miracle to win that team fight. And in a situation where Dorado loses, they just win the game off that one play, and like they would have also gotten the soul. So
that is true. Maybe they didn't want to coin flip. Oh no! Oh, the exhaust does come through, but it just doesn't matter. That's a shutdown onto the ADC, the strongest member of Dorado Gaming, and there are still 5 members cloaked in purple for OK Infinite. They are going to continue to push in these lanes. Sultan, if you're Dorado here, what do you do? Where do you try to attack?
I don't really have an answer for that. I just like, there's not much that they can do. It's just with how strong this like, if this was only one person being strong, maybe they had a chance. But being 12k gold down at this point in the game, and like that gold lead being spread all around the map, the ADC. Like 4,000 up 1,000 gold. Hamza is up almost 3,000 gold. Splash is again close to 2.3k gold. And like top lane is just it's close to a 5.5k gold lead just in the top lane. So you see ultimate coming in. Oh, 4,000.
The Scion is here. That's a pretty good knock up, and that does put 4,000 berserk, but it just doesn't matter. Savronger does put himself back to life just very, very briefly, but it doesn't matter. That's already 2 kills. That's a 3rd one. We will have to see if Pepe Tito can make anything happen on the backside of the fight. So far, he cannot. Venoms will fall to Sev. These are some low health bars. Sev and Muchai are still alive. That is 2 members down now for the side of OK Infinite. There's 1 inhibitor left that they're going to want to try to take. The bottom turret is still up. Splash goes in and is tanking turret shots left and right, as well as damage from Sev. He is going to have to pray that his passive can bring him back to life without immediately getting deleted. Elsa from Frozen still wants that smoke. Splash does as well, but the one shot comes through. Elsa from Frozen, the guillotines are here. The heads are falling. Reggie respawns. This fight isn't over yet, but Reggie and Pepe Cito, they can still do a lot of damage. But Elsa and 4,000, they want more. They want to keep going. The hemorrhages keep stacking up, and it doesn't end. Pepe Cito, all he can do is keep running back to the base if he can even get there in time. And from what looked like maybe a turn would happen, the Darius says, no, this game and this match are ours.
That is one fed Darius. That was just, he kind of showed how to play Darius. Not let's not say that. That's toxic, but like I feel like that's the potential of the Darius. I feel like it kind of showed Pepecito to never pick Sion into Darius. It's just like,
Yeah.
maybe if Splash wasn't camping him, the matchup would have been maybe a little bit better. But like thinking that he had to burn his flash in 2.5 minutes, and like without like Elsa doing anything, like he didn't even burn his ghost. He just like Pepecito just had to burn his flash because of like how weak Sion is compared to Darius, you can't really charge your Q without getting E'd by the Darius, and like it just makes it super hard in the early game to trade against the Darius. And they just snowballed through, like in almost in every lane. Splash was able to get to bot side, grab, get his team a kill there, go top, get 2 kills to Elsa early on in the game, and Hamza being able to solo kill Tev in the mid lane. It's just like it just spelled the doom for the side of Dorado.
Everywhere was losing, and Reggie, he in that second game, he tried to make plays happen. There were a couple times where he went and said hello. They did manage to get 1 kill on Elsa from Frozen when Reggie went up and visited the top lane, but after that, Elsa did not die a single time and actually ended up getting more kills than the entirety of Dorado. I'm pretty sure, I think 5 of those came in that last just endless skirmish around the base where they just kept walking into him one by one. But props to OK Infinite from taking what seemed to be a really competitive and close game 1 to winning now their second series of the split and keeping their playoff hopes very much alive.
Yeah, yeah,
So,
and they looked really dominant doing it. Like game 1 was a fiesta, so like not can't really say a lot about that. But game 2 was cleaner. There was some mistakes, especially the bot lane fight. It almost brought Dorado Gaming back into the game, but in the end, Darius was too fed. The game, especially in the from the top lane, was long gone. Like Elsa did 35,000 damage, and like you look to the other side, Reggie doing 5k, Pepecito doing 10k, Sev doing 10k. This is ridiculous amounts of damage coming from that Darius compared to what the whole enemy team was ready to bring.
That was, that felt like a masterclass. That was fun to watch for Elsa from Frozen up on the top side of the map. And speaking of Elsa from Frozen, we will be having an interview with them here in just a few minutes, or a few minutes actually, should be few seconds. He will be getting pulled into our chat very briefly, and we'll be able to ask him just how that went. Elsa, welcome. Congratulations on the 2-0 week, and especially on that 15-1-6 on your Darius. You popped off. My first question is, was this you had this in your back pocket, or was this all right, you know what, I'm going to show Pepecito how you really play Darius?
Hi. So I think it was a little bit of both, because I do play Darius a lot. I have played Darius a lot in the past, and I'm especially comfortable in the Darius versus Sion matchup, which not sure why they picked that, but I also did in the back of my mind. I was like, you know what? I'll show this guy how to play Darius. And whenever Aatrox got banned, I was like, all right, there's nothing left to pick. This is the play. And so we felt confident with it and went in with that.
Yeah.
All right.
And in game 1, it looked like a little bit more, not, let's say not worse, but like less cleaner from your side. You guys were in the lead for the most of the game. How do you guys think about your what do you think about your gameplay for now, like for the 5th week of CCS? Are you guys just like keep getting better every week, or?
I like to think we've been getting a lot better. I think we're going to continue getting better. We had like a lot of like personal problems with players, not between each other. Like we're all great friends, but there was just a lot of stuff that was getting in the way of us practicing and things like that. So we didn't really scrim for like almost 2 months, like pretty much since the start of CCS until the last like week and a half, last 2 weeks ish. So we also had to do roster swaps and stuff because like Owl, we all love him, but he just was getting a little bit too busy with college and stuff like that to be able to play. And so we brought in like Venom's his brother Hamza, and he's a monster. He's so good, and we just thought it made way too much sense because Venom's already loves playing support. And yeah, I think we're gonna keep getting better. I think we're trying to keep the playoff hope alive, and I have a good feeling we're gonna make it.
Yeah, I mean, for your next 2 weeks, your matchups are Red Panda Gaming and Blue Esports Fire. So how are you, obviously, how are you feeling for going up against them after, your
Are you
performance?
sure it's Blue Esports Fire? I'm not trying to argue, but I
Nope,
thought it was TA Light.
you're correct. I am wrong.
Yeah.
It is indeed TA Light. I
No problem.
can't
No problem.
read. So yeah, you have RPG, who is lower than you on the standings, but also TA Light, who, I think they lost. I do believe they lost to DNX today. But they are still pretty strong up in the standings. So how are you
Yeah.
feeling about those 2 games moving forward?
So I definitely think TA Light's a pretty good team. I would say just from what I've seen that they're around the same caliber as Dorado. And Dorado's also a good team. Like I'm not the kind of person to just run around and BM a lot. Like I think they played really well, especially in game 1 today. And I think we just had the edge in game 2. I think TA Light's going to be a similar fight, if I had to say. I think it'll be pretty even. I'm not 100% sure who's going to win. I think we will take it. I think we've been getting a lot better, and we have a decent amount of time because I think they're our last game, right? They're
They are
yeah,
indeed. That is
yeah.
your week
Yeah.
9 game.
So
That
we
is your
have a
week
good
9
bit
game.
of time. I hope that's a good game, regardless of who wins. I look forward to it. I definitely think RPG will be a slightly easier matchup, and that's no BM to them. I just feel like from what I've seen, just because of all the roster changes and stuff, and like the chats, it seems like they've been having similar issues that we have, which really sucks. And I know it feels bad when that happens. But yeah, no, I'm feeling pretty confident. I think we'll do pretty well. And I look forward to fighting them. Like I like this league a lot. It sucks that the beginning was so rough for us and all those issues happened, but I really look forward to it and I enjoy playing here a lot. So regardless of who wins, I think we're all happy to be playing.
Yeah. So we have CCS All Stars coming in a few weeks. How do you see yourself? I don't know how many games you were able to watch, or like, I guess your experience in the league up until now. Where do you see yourself compared to other top laners specifically?
Mm, okay, so I think I am one of the better top laners in this league, and I say that humbly, like I'm not trying to BM or anything. I actually think Pepecito, the guy that we just fought, was really good. Like I think, especially in game 1, he made it kind of unplayable. He
Yeah.
did play really well. I would say so far he's the best top laner I've fought. If I had to like elect somebody, I think Pepecito is pretty good. The DNX top laner is also good. I think his name was I forgot his
Panzora?
name.
Panzora.
Panzora, yeah, Panzora. He's also pretty good. I did pretty well against him in those games, but I think we're pretty even. I like fighting. I like all the DNX guys, like especially Gecko. He's extremely good and he's really cool. And so yeah, I think it'd be cool to be an all star if that comes around for me. But yeah, I definitely think if I had to say someone was like a really good top laner so far that I fought, it would have to be Pepecito. That guy's pretty good, pretty monstrous.
Well, love to hear it. Showing respect to your other competition is always good to hear. But speaking of DNX, you were so far the only team to take off one game from them. And looking forward, this is kind of the first step to getting back into that playoff contention. So, I will say, hearing that y'all have just been streaming over like the past week and a half and seeing how fast that improvement has been, that's, what, like it makes sense that your past 2 weeks have been, so far what looks to be your best 2 weeks strung together. How has that practice, are you practicing so much like just together, just as synergies, or are you also talking a little bit more like how you want to draft and your drafting strategy?
We do all sorts of stuff like that. We don't really have a coach, believe it or not. We're just a group of 5 buddies actually. So we usually just sit around, and since we're good friends, we spend a lot of time together anyway, and we just talk about drafts and picks and what we're going to practice for the day and stuff like that. So it's a lot more fluid than I think a lot of teams, which will have coaches and they'll like sit down and we're doing this today and that kind of stuff. We don't really do that kind of thing. We've just been practicing a lot, just sort of in general, and we decide depending on the day what we want to try and focus on. But yeah, I think hopefully continuing the next 2 weeks, we'll get better and better. And I really hope we get to surprise you guys or continue surprising you guys because we have been the underdogs in majority of our matches.
Yeah, indeed. But if it keeps being as exciting as this week, I know I'll be looking forward to keeping an eye on y'all. But again, thank you so much, Elsa, and congratulations, as well as congratulations to the rest of OK, on picking up the win this week. We will be streaming again tomorrow for our Thursday matchups on CCS and CCS2. Thank you all for coming out and watching. Again, thank you, Elsa, for the interview. We shall see you all later. Be safe, be smart, make wise decisions, and farewell.
Yep, you too. Take care.
So hold our heads up high and beat the drums to what we love.